Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and postcard and a pint day Sunday and typical weather. Today is looking like a gloomy visit to Castleton, but we'll bring our own sunshine. You'll find Castleton in Derbyshire in the Peak District, just about there. And we're looking forward to caves, castles and chips. If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills, and we are Postcard and a Pint. Antique explorers and attractors of really crap weather. Let's get started. After driving down the stunningly beautiful Winnets Pass, we arrived into Castleton and parked up in the visitor centre car park. We paid £4.50 for 4 hours and then set off to explore. Straight away we can tell you that Castleton is a very pretty village and very welcoming. It's a village lined with gorgeous stone buildings. It's chocolate box stuff. And this stone cottage with the railings is Toll Bar Cottage, and was once the toll house on the chapel on Lafrith to Sheffield Turnpike around 1810. There are loads of places to eat, from ice creams and snacks, gorgeous looking pubs, and even fish and chips. Lunchtime can't come soon enough. This is Castleton Hall, once a large country hall, and up until 2012 it was Castleton's youth hostel. It was time to try our first gift shop. And we really liked what we saw. We're now in the old marketplace. This was a flourishing market in the 13th century. Now it's the villagers' war memorial, with poignant remembrances of those from the village who gave their lives in the 2 world wars. And the tree you see was planted for the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria, so has been here almost 130 years. Just off the marketplace is Cavedale. This is a valley formed by a collapsed cave system. It's a very popular walk to take, and one we will take when we have more than half a day here. Next, we made our way to St Edmund's Church. The oldest parts of this church date back to the 12th century, and it's well worth a visit inside. But what's that, Rach? You're all done with church visiting? What's happening now?
We're going to go and get some food at the George.
You've had this channel 3.5 years and you've learned nothing. It's a Sunday, when British people like to go out for a Sunday lunch and you've not booked. Did you get in? Thought not.
No worries, we'll try the old Cheshire cheese instead.
I'm loving your optimism, Rach, but even this tea room is looking packed. If all else fails, there's always this bakery and a sausage roll. Who knows, it might even come to that. But finally, we arrived at the old Cheshire cheese and made our way inside to try our luck. Now, are there any tables free? So the lovely lady found us room at the old Cheshire cheese. They said they were booked up, but she's managed to fit us in. And the menu looks lovely. I think I'm going to have pie and chunky chips and peas. It was a good pub grub menu, and we were starving. So pie it was. It looks fantastic, eh, Rach? Wills went steak and ale, and that was pretty darn good too. It was clean plates all around. Now, you know I said she squeezed us in. There wasn't a lot of squeezing going on. But if you're ever in Castleton, we highly recommend this place. Good home cooking, the prices are fine. To be honest, after Norway, all prices are fine. And a good selection of beers and ales. Thanks, ye old Cheshire cheese. It's time to move on. Directly opposite the pub is this wine emporium. We went in, had a little look around, and then decided it was a bit too posh for us. Let's keep walking. Now, we're sure there are lots of places to stay in Castleton, but this is the Peak Hotel. We didn't stay, but it has great reviews on TripAdvisor. This was lovely to see, a village shop with a post office. Sadly, a rare thing in most British villages these days. Then back along the main street past another lovely looking pub, Ye Old Nag's Head. Castleton is postcard and a pint approved. Now what's all this Blue John stuff about? Let's find out. Blue John is a semi-precious mineral. It's a rare form of fluorite with bands of purple, blue or yellowish colour. And it's only found in 2 caverns just outside Castleton, and we'll be visiting one later. Our last stop on the main street was this holistic shop. It sold a lot of lovely things, but wasn't for us today. Next, we went off in search of the river and the ducks that we'd seen on other vlogs. Past more Blue John gift shops. And more Blue John gift shops. It was making us excited to explore these caverns a little later. Now, where are these ducks? They're not there. There they are, swimming in the most picturesque setting. We'd seen a sign saying duck food was for sale, in Enlighten us, Wills.
You can get duck food at the little shop, 50p, cash only.
Thanks, lad. Duck food was duly bought. Cheers! And then it was back to my duck friends to serve up a plentiful and healthy lunch. I think they were grateful, although being surrounded by sculptures like this, a duck in a dragon's mouth might be a bit off-putting. Anyway, they hoovered up the food, and even Wills had a go. Excellent technique, lad, although he soon got bored and wandered off into a nearby junk antique shop. Wills can wander around these places for hours. Me? Not so. But come on, lad, time's ticking on and we've caverns to see. Fingers crossed we'll be back later to see Peveril Castle. OK, one more duck feed. And we're off. It was back up into the rain as we climbed the hills to visit Blue John Cavern. Parking is on the road by the entrance, but is free. There's even a Blue John cafe here. Then it's down this path to the entrance. Rach?
We've come right up into the clouds now and we're going to go and explore Blue John Cavern and see what it's all about.
The low cloud only added to the air of mystery this day. You can't book online for this one, so it's just turn up and buy your tickets in the gift shop. And I found myself a dog friend. This tour costs £19 per person and is guided. After what we can only describe as quite a harsh health and safety briefing, we went in. It was at this point we were told no videoing, but photos were fine, so let's continue with those. Blue John Cavern is a series of caverns linked by steps taking you ever deeper. And Blue John itself is Britain's rarest mineral, first discovered here by the Romans almost 2,000 years ago. Castleton is the only place in the world to date where this mineral has been found. Mining is still done by hand today, and both of the ladies in the gift shop are miners. We did learn about the cavern's origins, but basically Blue John is a form of fluorspar, often with impurities that give it distinctive bands of colour. It was fascinating to learn all about it. From magical blue walls to an underground waterfall, this was a fascinating tour. But soon it was time to climb the many steps back to the surface. That had been such an adventure. Share your thoughts, Rach.
Well, that was really cool. We weren't allowed to take videos in there, so we've taken a lot of photographs, and I hope we've done justice to what we saw down there with the last bit of video you've just seen. Our tour guide was called Tony. I named him Health and Safety Tony. Oh my God, he didn't want anyone to slip. He was on and on and on. Before you went down, he kind of put the fear of God into you that you actually didn't want to go down because it was that dangerous. Don't be put off. If you can climb a tower at Conwy Castle, you'll be fine. Honestly, it wasn't that bad at all. But really cool, I'm glad we did it. But the next caves, I think we can sit down.
Here's hoping. But it's back to the car and down the stunningly beautiful Winnet's Pass once again. We definitely want to do a Peak District break one day. The scenery is incredible. Speedwell Cavern sits just at the bottom of Winnet's Pass. And how's it going, Rach?
We're at the Speedwell Caverns, although we nearly made a rookie error. We paid for parking, £6, and then saw a sign underneath it saying, full today, you can't get on. Anyway, we went across the shop and there are cancellations today, so we have got on, and you do get redeemed £2.50 off your parking. So we've got 10 minutes to wander around and then we'll go in another cavern.
This one is more expensive at £21.50, but you can save £1.50 if you book online. Ooh, look at that. Hard hats. We didn't have those with Health and Safety Tony. Now, we say you can sit down on this one. There's just a short matter of 106 steps first. But when you've done that, your boat awaits. It's a bit of a scramble in, but once you're in, it's time to set sail. If you can, sit near the guide so you can hear the history of this place. There's not a lot to see, and it is very cramped. You'll be glad of the hard hat, as the ceiling does get quite low. There's only one place where boats can pass, so you'll pull into a siding and wave at the other tour leaving the caves. We hope you enjoyed it. Now it's our turn. Unlike Blue John Cavern, Speedwell is a historic lead mine from the 1770s. To think that this tunnel was carved by hand over 200 years ago. It's about a 15-minute trip with not a lot to see, but the guide does tell you what it would have been like for the miners who worked here in the 1700s. Then, when you reach the cavern, it's out of the boat and time for a little more history. As well as this cavern's great height, it also has in it an underground lake called the Bottomless Pit. The miners in the 1700s thought that this was the entrance to hell, as however much shale they dumped into it, the water level remained the same. On the walls of the cavern, there is also some old graffiti carved by the miners in the 17 and 1800s. You get about 15 minutes in the cavern and your guide will point out things to see and will answer any questions you may have. It's not a massive space, but there are some cool stalactites to see. Then it's onto the boat to start your journey back. So how deep is the water we're travelling on?
So it's about a metre deep, so it's just above the waist. You can walk it if you wanted to.
We'll take the boat, thanks, and I'll share my favourite story that he told us. The bottomless pit, of course, drained somewhere, but where? It was dye-tested, and the hydrogeologists assumed it would show up in the river in Castleton. 12 hours later, there was no sign. 20 hours later, a lady who lives by Peak Cavern asked why the water in the well in her garden was now fluorescent green, and there was the answer. That was a fun tour. Now there's just those 106 stairs to climb up. And let's have your views on this one.
That was really, really good fun. I would say if you're claustrophobic, that one's possibly not for you because it's very, very low in the boat all the way along to the cavern at the end. Out of the two, I actually think I preferred the Blue John Cavern. I don't know why. I don't think there was as much to see in that one until you got to the end. Then it was really interesting. The guide was really cool. What did you think?
I'm knackered, done far too many steps today. But seriously, that was really cool. I think I preferred I was going to say Long John then, the Blue John Cavern, just because there was a bit more to see, but they were both really good.
And now we've got a castle to find.
Yes, it had been a very cavey day. Let's get back to what we know. Castles, and Peveril Castle at that. Uh-oh, is it closed?
Well, that's a shame. We've spent so long caving. The castle is now shut. It's Sunday. It shuts at 4 o'clock. And it would have been free because it's English heritage and our Calo cards would have got us in. We're going to try and find somewhere, if we can, to send the drone up. But if not, we'll see you back home for a catch-up.
But Debs the drone did get to see the castle and some of the stunning surrounding countryside. Peveril Castle was built soon after the Norman conquest of 1066. It is named after William Peveril, who was granted these lands by William the Conqueror for his support in the battle. From the 11th to the 16th century, the castle served as a base for the government of the local area. And the town of Castleton, at the foot of the hill, was founded 100 years after the castle. Next time we're here, we'll make sure to visit this one. But now, it's time to go home. And that was our day in Castleton. We'll see you back home for a pint and a catch-up.
We're back, and what a lovely day.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, first off, I'd just like to say, it's now Sunday, a week later. Blue skies, glorious day.
Sunshine all day.
All day. But I've had to work today, so we had to do Castleton in the rain. But still, a really beautiful, beautiful place.
Wasn't it?
Oh, that pass when you come down into it. I think if we went back, I would like to do that Cavedale walk, because the drone shots when we popped that up of behind were just stunning.
Really, and we'll definitely go to the castle next time as
well. We will indeed. Right. Yeah, we only had a day and it's Sunday at that. Everything shuts early and we got 2 caves in, 2 mines in. We did really, really well. We love the Peak District. It's so, so pretty. We've been to a few places now.
Got a few videos out.
And I think it's a place, in the future we'd like to go back, get a hotel somewhere centrally located.
Oh, excuse me.
Right there.
Oh.
And then just explore more and stay over and see what the nightlife is like in some of these places and go out for a pint.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Do you have any favourite bits?
Blue John Cave.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I thought that was fab.
Oh.
Even with health and safety Tony.
He was hilarious.
He was funny.
I literally, before we went in, I thought, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this.
Careful, because you might
You
die.
might slip. People slip around here.
And they die.
Yeah, well, he didn't say he died, but that was the sort
almost
of, the vibe he was giving off. And
Now, you be careful, because people are always falling and breaking their legs and dying.
Hold on to the handrail because you might die. And I stepped in, I thought, this is going to be horrendous. I'm going to be... But it was actually fine.
It was absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, it's a little bit wet inside. Make sure you've got decent shoes on. Hold on to the handrail. But to be honest, it was fine. Yeah, if you can climb Conwy Castle, you're fine. To be honest, those steps at the end of the other one were worse because they were wet. The roof was really, really low and they were steep.
Yeah.
And they were all in a row. At least in Blue John Cavern, there's like 30 or 40 steps, then a cavern to look around.
You were knackered at the top, weren't you?
Well,
and you were first
I went
as well.
first, which is a stupid thing to have done because then I couldn't stop because everyone was behind me. So, thought I was going to die in that one. Health and safety, Tony.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love that as well. That stone is just incredible. Right, shall we wrap this up now?
Before we say that, before we do that though, check out the other Peak District ones. What have we got? We've got Bakewell. We've got Buxton. We're not quite sure if Hebden Bridge is
in the Peak District. But it's that way. It's out that way.
Where else do we say? That's it.
That's it.
Go and check them out. They're good videos. They're beautiful places.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. On Bakewell, we had the best weather day ever, and they look so gorgeous in the sunshine. They really do. Right, let's sign off now. If you like this video,
if you would hit that. Oh, blind man! I keep choking.
If you'd hit the subscribe,
that one. If you hit the like button, the subscribe button,
leave us a comment,
dingly bell, leave us a comment, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we love all that. Anyway, as we say,
in Postcard and the Pint.
Cheers to the good times.
How can you tell when a vampire is ill?
I don't know.
He'll be coughing.
Oh.